What's going on, guys? Today, we're gonna talk about how to eat healthy on a budget. So, I've always been a frugal person. We just didn't have a lot of money growing up. But as I grew up and I started working, specifically when I started learning more about nutrition and how important it is, specifically when it comes to the quality of food you put in your body, food is just something that I don't cheap out on these days. My health is my number one priority. Like, I value my health above all. So that is where I choose to put my money. And everything else just has to fit right in. The way I see it, I'd rather invest in my health upfront through buying the best quality foods money can buy to keep my body healthy than having to pay for it later through expensive surgeries, medication, and just general poor quality of life that comes from living an unhealthy lifestyle. Listen, you cannot keep eating bread, Doritos, and breakfast cereal and expect to stay healthy. Like, you might be able to get away with it while you're young, and this is when you see people eat the worst diet and somehow they stay skinny. But that doesn't mean that everything is going good on the inside. And Father Time is always undefeated when it comes to this. It will eventually catch up to you. Did you know that the average American puts on 1.5 pounds of fat and loses half a pound of muscle every year, starting from the age of 25 up until the age of 55. If you do some simple math, that adds up real fast. This is why you see people get into their 40s and they're wondering how they put on all the extra weight that they're carrying. And with all that extra weight, specifically the visceral fat around your stomach, comes a boatload of health problems. Do you know what the number one cause of bankruptcy is in the US? It's illness. People getting sick and not being able to pay for their hospital bills and medication. So if you focus on proper nourishment now, it will pay dividends later on. Studies have shown that Europeans spend 20% of their monthly income on groceries. In North America, especially in the US, it's 8%. Europeans also tend to have better health than Americans. So that right away tells you where the problem starts and how to fix it. But I also understand that we all don't have big budgets. I get that. You can't give what you can't have. But that doesn't mean that you cannot eat healthy. I refuse to believe that. You just have to make some adjustments in your life. So today, I'm gonna show you my top 7 tips on how to eat healthy on a budget. These are the exact same tips that I give to all my students inside my Fat Loss Accelerator program, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. So you know it works. Before we get started, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video every week. Okay, the first step on how to eat healthy on a budget, and this is a 2-for-1 process, is you need to figure out where your money is going to begin with. You need to be financially literate. And this is why I have such a big problem with our school system in North America. And I might ruffle some feathers when I say this, but why are we teaching our kids that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell? And why are we still reading old English literature in high school, yet we're still financially illiterate after graduating? We come out not knowing about taxes, interest rates, or how to even create a simple budget. But hey, at least we know about Macbeth. So that's probably where we should start. Learning about money and budgeting is crucial when it comes to being able to properly allocate your money accordingly. This concept isn't even just about eating healthy. This is just how you get better at life. And a lot of people have no idea where their money is going. And then come middle of the month, they look at their bank account and they can only afford to eat cheap ramen noodles for the rest of the month. And you can literally just type how to create a budget on YouTube after watching this video, so you can start learning about this stuff. Next, once you figure out where your money is going, then it's time to write down all your expenses every month. There are fixed costs like rent, your phone bill, utilities, and groceries. And then there are variable costs, things like gym memberships, eating out, Netflix, Spotify, buying alcohol, things like that. And if you've never written down all your expenses before, this is gonna be a life-changing experience for you. For example, if you go out for drinks and dinner every weekend, for one night out, that can range anywhere between $30 to, $100 or more for some people. If we use that lower number of 30 and you multiply it by 4, that's easily $120 a month. If you go out Friday and Saturday, that is at least $240 a month. And that's just with a $30 budget for one night. I know some people who blow $300 from one night of going out and then they're eating cheap ramen noodles for the rest of the week. Are you paying for multiple entertainment subscriptions like Netflix, Prime, Crave, Disney Plus, or whatever else is out there? Those are easily $10 to $15 every month. Do you really need all 5 of them? Even if you just get rid of one, that'll free up some money and you can buy 3 cartons of pasture-raised eggs instead. Do you always shop online on things that's just gonna sit in your closet? That adds up real fast. Also, designer coffees. I'm talking about Chocomocha lattes or crappy frappies, which you should not be drinking to begin with. That's easily $5 every day. That's $150 a month you can dedicate towards healthy food. If you eat avocado toast every day, which I've seen cost easily $10 at some restaurants, and this is the number one reason why millennials can't afford to buy a house, you can basically retire off that money if you stop eating avocado toast. Just kidding. My point is, little things like that add up real fast and you don't even notice it. Like with the designer coffees and avocado toast alone, even if you just cut that in half, that's got you covered when it comes to switching from cheap feedlot meat to grass-fed and grass-finished beef, and going from cheap, low-quality eggs to pasture-raised eggs. And trust me, the difference in taste is night and day. It's not even close. Like, you won't go back. This is why being financially literate is the first step when it comes to eating healthy on a budget, because you need to know where your money is going. Listen, if you want to prioritize eating healthy, then you should evaluate your budget so you can afford more than just eating ramen noodles. And the thing is, eating healthy does not have to be expensive. And that is a huge myth in itself. And that if you want to eat healthy, you have to buy these health foods and superfoods and these green powders. No. Do you know what the best superfoods are? Whole foods. Focus on buying real food. You should buy high quality meat, eggs, and vegetables, not acai and super greens. And I see this all the time and it blows my mind. People buy the cheapest quality meat and eggs and then they buy a tub of greens powder. Tip number 3, buy frozen and in bulk. I was at the grocery store the other day, and I live in Canada, by the way, and I was looking at a single avocado. It was like $2.50. And then they have bag ones where it was 5 for $5. That right away saves you over 50% per avocado. That adds up real fast. Also, when it comes to vegetables, frozen ones tend to be cheaper and are actually better for you. And pro tip, buy something that you normally eat in bulk whenever it goes on sale. When it comes to eggs, for example, whenever organic, free-run eggs go on sale, I buy as much as I can. Just watch out for the expiry. Same thing with vegetables. Whenever something goes on sale, like asparagus, for example, I'll just prep it and then I'll freeze it. Same thing with meat. Little things like that add up real fast. One quick note on meat, by the way, if you don't have access to grass-fed and grass-finished, hormone and antibiotic-free beef, you should try to buy lean cuts instead, because studies have shown that when these animals are fed grains, corn, fillers, candy, yep, they feed these animals candy to fatten them up. All that bad stuff accumulates in their fat. So if you buy a leaner cut, then you're gonna eat less of that harmful stuff. And then, to add back some healthy fat, you can buy grass-fed and grass-finished butter instead, like Kerrygold. If you've never tried it, prepare to get your mind blown. Tip number 4, learn some basic cooking skills. This tip alone will save you so much money so you can actually buy high-quality foods, because the markups are insane when it comes to eating out. I know this because I was a bartender for years. Let's use a typical restaurant salad, for example. After taxes and tipping, let's say your bill comes up to $20, and that's if you don't get a drink. So that's just one meal. $20 also buys you easily 2 boxes of grass-fed and grass-finished burger patties, and that can easily last you 1 week. Making that switch alone takes care of the most expensive part of your budget. If you skip your designer coffee and make coffee from home, that frees up some money and you can get a dozen of pasture-raised eggs instead, which can last you a week depending on how many eggs you eat in a day. And I always say this, you do not need to be a top chef when you do meal prep. I like using the KISS principle when it comes to this. Keep it stupid simple. The microwave and the oven are your best friends when it comes to this. That's why I like buying grass-fed and grass-finished meatballs and burger patties, for example, because I can just throw them in the oven. I also love eating eggs every day because they're kind of hard to mess up. I also like putting my vegetables in the oven and then I freeze them so they can last longer. And I just do this once a week. And then my prep time every day is literally just heating up my food and making eggs. And usually, people have more time than money. So put that time to good use by meal prepping. You can also make your own homemade avocado toast so you can one day afford to buy a house if you're a millennial who's watching this. And if you have kids, spend some of that money that you would normally spend on your kids when you're eating out and hire a babysitter instead for an hour or 2. That way, you can actually have some time to meal prep for your kids and actually feed them high quality food instead of just giving them breakfast cereal and Twinkies. Now, I'm not saying that you should never eat out. I love eating out. I eat out like once or twice a week. But I usually do it in a way that doesn't break my budget. Here's how. Tip number 5, look for daily deals. Now, this is gonna be individualized for every city, but let me give you a couple examples. I love tacos. Do you know what I love even more? Cheap tacos. And usually, most Mexican and Tex-Mex restaurants will do like Taco Tuesdays. If you like wings, and I love chicken wings, a lot of places do wing deals every week. Like, why pay full price if you can get it for cheap? And a lot of places do happy hour. If you're meeting up with friends on a weekend, for example, try to schedule it during happy hour. Where I live, at some bars, you can get a highball for $3 instead of $10 during happy hour. There you go. You just saved $7. Again, it's all about being conscious with your spending. And you can put some of that money you save towards buying high quality food. Number 6. Don't buy workout supplements. I kind of brushed on this earlier, but taking supplements when you're still eating a crappy diet is basically like lighting your money on fire. Listen, if your goal is to just be healthy, get a flat stomach, build some muscle, and maybe even see your abs and have that tight and toned look, you can accomplish all of those things without ever taking a single scoop of pre-workout, BCAA, Magic Greens powder, or protein powder. In fact, a lot of these supplements are not good for you. Protein powders, for example, are extremely insulinogenic because whey and casein, which is what a lot of these protein powders are made of, are extremely processed. They're also usually sweetened with sucralose or other artificial sweeteners, which makes them fattening. It's the same thing with BCAA and pre-workouts. You can get all the amino acids and so many more vitamins and minerals that your body needs, like vitamin K2 and B12, for example, from eating a piece of meat, preferably the high quality stuff. And you'll be able to afford it once you stop buying useless supplements. Like, if you really need that caffeine kick from pre-workout, why don't you drink coffee or tea instead? You can probably buy a second house from the amount of money you're saving by not buying workout supplements. Number 7. Okay, before I reveal it, I just have to say that this was an unexpected bonus when I started doing it, but a nice little bonus nonetheless, because this has saved me so much money. It's not even funny. Tip number 7 is do intermittent fasting. And I talk a lot about the therapeutic and healing benefits of fasting, so make sure you check out my other videos about it on my channel. But let's talk about this from a budget standpoint. If you normally eat 6 meals a day, which I am not a big fan of, and you just cut that down to 3 like a normal human being, you're gonna save some money. And you shouldn't be snacking to begin with, because we don't really snack on the healthiest stuff. If you cut those 3 meals to just 2, even if they're a little bit bigger, you're gonna save even more money. If you just eat once a day, like me, I eat 1 meal a day, you are gonna save a fortune. If you do this, you can probably afford a really nice car on top of the 2 houses that you can now afford from cutting out designer coffees, avocado toast, and workout supplements. Okay, but seriously, like, even if that 1 meal is a little bit bigger, or let's say you eat 2 meals, you're doing a 16-hour fast, you only have 2 meals to worry about. And this is why I always like to say that when you skip breakfast, think of yourself burning up some of that body fat as your breakfast. It's free energy. That right away saves you money. Okay, I just have to mention this quickly because this is just a part of living a healthy lifestyle, and it's the topic of exercise. If you're from North America, it's not uncommon for specialty gyms like CrossFit, yoga, or spin to charge upwards of $200 a month. Some places charge even more, like Barry's Bootcamp charges, I think, $300, and I have no idea why. And if you're already on a budget, you look at something like that and you're like, I can't afford that. That's okay. And this is why I don't even recommend signing up for a gym membership right away, because there are so many things that you can do on your own to get started with this, like going for a walk outside. And it's free. And it's been proven to lower your stress levels. Like, I'm getting stressed thinking about paying $300 a month for a gym membership. Who does that? If you can't go outside, you can do home workouts. And you don't need machines to do this. You are the machine. Even if you have a small, tiny space, you can work out in a hallway. You can do burpees there. And you should check out my Lean Body Blueprint 21-day weight loss challenge if you want a more detailed plan on how to do this. My point is, do not let your budget discourage you from exercise. Like, I'd rather you spend your money on buying high quality food than paying $200 a month for a gym membership. The biggest point that I want you to take away here is that eating healthy is not expensive. Like, it does not have to be expensive. You just need to make small adjustments with your lifestyle so you can free up some of that money to buy high quality meat and eggs instead. Like, I don't have a big liquor budget because I don't drink, but I have a big food budget because that's important to me. And the last thing I want you to take away here is nourishing your body by feeding it the highest quality food is one of the greatest forms of self-love. Your health is your greatest asset, and you are absolutely worth it. The next question then becomes, how are you actually supposed to eat if you want to lose weight? Because here's the thing, 80% of your body composition is determined by your diet. You can't just freestyle this part. Do you have a proven plan that you can follow? To help you with that, I want to give you a free copy of my Lean Body Blueprint. This is how I melted all the fat around my stomach without depriving myself of my favorite foods or wasting hours at the gym. It's a simple 4-step process specifically designed for busy professionals, and it's the exact same blueprint that I teach to all my private coaching clients, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. If you want to be the next success story, then download your free copy of the Lean Body Blueprint right now. There's going to be a link somewhere at the top here or in the description box. Just click on it, type in your email, and I'll send it to you right away. All right, that's all I've got. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a new video every week. And hey, leave a comment below if you have any questions about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. First, a high five.